CFG GameCast, episode number 127, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Fridays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any podcast services out there, or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Oh, I played a lot. Oh, I beat Inscription this week. But when you beat it, you get what's called Casey's mod, which is really cool. If there's no ending, there's no you get an extra whatever for it. Basically, you go in and you do different run-throughs in Leshy's cabin, which is the first area. And you go in with one less item in your backpack, or you don't get a reroll of your cards, that kind of thing. So that was really interesting. Played the new killer against the new killer on DBD, and she is one spooky ooky lady.
It's a
Ring, right? The chick from The Ring?
Yes, yeah. It is her. I will not say her name because I say it wrong every time. I panic and nope. So yeah, her. But it's the original. So I believe it's the Japan came out with the original concept for that, right? It's her, not the American BS one. But
they were virtually the same. Yeah,
I've seen the Japanese version. It's scarier.
I enjoyed both of them. Yeah, I didn't have
you know what was actually cool about the Ring?
High school, though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, what was cool about the Ring, the Japanese Ring and the American Ring, was that they used the same house. Did you know that? They used the same Japanese house. So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. So, but I mean,
continuity.
I think I would agree with Lex. It is a slightly more freakier in Japanese.
I also think the music score is better for the Japanese version, whereas I feel like American horror has kind of gotten lazy, and they like to give you a heads up when the music changes, like something spooky's going to happen. Yeah. Get ready, and sometimes I hate that because you ruined it for me. Does that make sense?
I think American horror kind of died, though, in my opinion. It's nowhere near what it once was.
Yeah,
nowhere near.
I was never a fan of huge slashers. My favorite slasher was Ghostface because at least it made more sense logistic wise. This could happen and people are crappy and blah blah blah. But yeah, I played that, and then I guess we'll announce it here since I haven't said it anywhere else. I don't know if you guys can see that.
We can't. Oh wait,
you should be able to now.
Oh, now I can.
Yeah. So that's not one, but two babies. Adam and I are pregnant. So, yay!
And I.
Well, I mean, he did it. It's his fault. I didn't want children, but yay. So that'll be interesting. I'm kidding. April Fools. I am not pregnant. I don't even think I can get pregnant.
You know, it's actually kind of funny. It's I just realized this is going to be in podcast form, so most people won't see what you did.
Okay, so for our listeners, I showed a sonogram of two twin babies in itty bitty fetus form, like little lima beans.
Unfriend.
Yeah. That's why these are out. No, I'm kidding. We're not having a baby, but you're welcome. April Fools. I didn't get to get my dad this year, so I'm mad. Usually I saran wrap his toilet seat because he's a sitter, which, hey, more power to him. And he doesn't see the saran wrap, and then he pees, and it gets everywhere, and it's fun.
You are a problem child.
You need to get your butt over here right now and clean this floor.
Oh,
this is you're doing.
Or a good one too is you put those little poppers that you throw on the ground that you would get from the ice cream man. You take them and you put them underneath the little dots, right? And you just carefully set them under the toilet seat. So then when the next person sits down, pop, 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 scares the shit out of them. It's hysterical. You're welcome.
Wow. These toilet-centric tips are totally horrible. But hey, Lex, do you know who is not the father?
Oh, it's Maury. No.
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
Chillin', man. This is ridiculous. I've been good. Getting down on Scum, getting down on Destiny. I haven't really had a chance to do too much. I was sick this past week, so excuse me. I'm still kind of recovering. Excuse me, from that as well. I actually last week I took a nap after the podcast, and I woke up feeling like hell. So I am feeling much better this week. So I'm looking forward just to chilling out a little bit. Maybe, hopefully, getting outside, and because that's what I was hoping it was like all super nice last week, and I missed out on that. So try to maybe get out and do a hike or something, and just be a person. It's been a pretty chill week. Things are about to get busy. Like you said, we've got PAX East here in a few weeks that we'll be going to. I've got some other things that I'm working on as well, kind of behind the scenes. I can't really say much about right now, but we working on some stuff, y'all. So yeah, it's good staying busy and whatnot, man. How about yourself, brother? How was
real quick? Do not hike near my area. The mountain that they're blowing up by my house, the rattlesnakes, the scorpions, the tarantulas, and it is coyote infestation by my areas. Go farther north, okay? Just
let's back that up and say why are they blowing it up?
They're blowing up the side of this little it's a little mountain to widen the road.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, at least there's no mountain lions.
That road is
there are.
There are mountain lions. There are absolutely mountain lions.
A lot of them fled over the ridge because there's a lot of wild horses that got released, and they're munching on them, unfortunately. But I can't tell you how many times I've come home late at night and there's a coyote just walking around in my neighborhood like, hey, what's up?
I believe it. You're like right by the mountain. I used to live over like right by where Lex lives.
It was
to party on the mountain. I used to party on that mountain.
I used to live in Arizona too, and then the coyotes usually came down the hill. That's where I was at too. And then it says coyotes are not that big, but they're just scrappy. And then
the scorpions, dude. We lived in a house that we called
scorpions.
You can't see them. Ooh. It sucks, dude. Well, the thing is coyotes are taller than Opie, but about her size. She's got like a good 10, 15 pounds on one because they're real skinny, so they only weigh about 18 pounds. But it would try to take Opie on. I think Opie would win that fight, but I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, well, usually not that aggressive. They're usually they're usually the ones that are afraid of you.
Yeah,
or undocile.
But if you're walking by yourself at night, they will stalk you until their buddy comes back, who is also hunting because they hunt in a pack, but they split up, and they'll try to get you. It happened to my friend Ashley not too long ago. Coyote was chasing her, so
I'm a stalk a coyote.
Well,
how feels about that?
That's what Smitty's gonna do. Smitty's gonna be like doing a
like I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Smitty's gonna do a roll. Yes. Smitty's gonna be like Schwarzenegger and Predator, just slowly putting the mud on his face, like that, just getting ready, just getting in the thick of things. But as for me, man, I've been busy. I just came back from Houston. I want to give a shout out to Zukara the Tall for filling in for me from last week. It was a really cool episode. He had some really cool topic. But I've been been really busy with some other pieces. I haven't touched a game since last week. I was going to do one today, but then I decided I needed to take care of some other stuff and stuff in the background because once again, as well as with Smitty, have some stuff in the works. Can't talk about it yet, but we're going, but definitely going hard on the paint on it
too.
Yeah. So then we're definitely, and then hopefully I'm going to play something. I should stream something, but we'll see. We'll see sometime in the mix of things. But it's been pretty hard. It's been pretty hectic. But it's all worth it. So just to see what everyone's thinking and stuff. So it's all good. But I know everyone doesn't want to hear my excuses on why I haven't been playing a game. So let's get going with all the rigmarole that we normally like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion within the video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry itself. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the people on twitch.tv, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you'd like to chime in about, by all means, type it inside the chat. We would love to discuss it with you as always. So I know I didn't say the order, but I'm going to go first because that's what I think I have a really good topic this time around.
You mean you stole a topic?
You mean the topic that I didn't
topic last week, guys? Remember, don't ever forget I did it first.
And we did a pre-stream vote, and Davis lost, but he's still going to do it anyway. So
he's a dictator.
I have to say this. I have to say this. First of all, I love that Smitty's the most humblest person that I know right now. All right, I really love that I really bring in the love of all that with Smitty right now. How humble he is about this whole deal. Yes, so there we go. But I'm going to circle back from the topic from last week because that Smitty was talking about last week. Because as you know, there was Smitty did say something about like the PlayStation Network was going to be changing up their network plan. But we didn't know at the time what it entailed, what it's going to do, pricing and all that stuff. Well, earlier this week, we found out more on the PlayStation blog, which is actually really annoying. I don't know why, but I am not a fan of the blog. Because they have really important information and then they put it on a blog. Like that is the worst place to do it.
That?
It doesn't
do
make any sense.
People still blog anymore? Jesus, stop!
Oh, they do blog, but it's not like everyone is checking on this unless it's shared, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But anyways, I don't know. I digress. But basically, okay, so PlayStation Plus is merging their PlayStation Now together, and then they're changing the PlayStation's Plus to a 3-tiered flexible option. So what does that mean for the consumers or us? Well, first off, PlayStation was this is they're saying that they're not wanting to compete, but they're competing with Microsoft with Xbox Game Pass. This is a clear competition move for them to go against Xbox Game Pass. So what they did is that PlayStation Plus is still going to be the same price than what it was before, which was $60 for the year. Or if you don't have $60, it's $9.99 monthly or $24.99 quarterly, which is every 3 months. So that what PlayStation is going to be called, instead of just PlayStation Plus, it's going to be called the PlayStation Essential. What that will do, that it's going to provide the same benefits as the PlayStation Plus members as we're getting currently right now. We're getting like the 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage, and online multiplayer access. So basically the network fees and stuff. So there's nothing that's going to change. Now, the next tier is where it's going to change a little bit more. So there's going to be the PlayStation Plus Extra, which will provide the same thing as what the original PlayStation Plus will have, but then they're also adding a catalog of the 400 of the most, quote unquote, this is their quote, 400 of the most enjoyable PS4/PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party partners. So that's the only thing they're adding is the library, the 400 game library, and that's going to cost $100, $99.99. So that is that roughly is about $9.99. Well, if you do the year plan, it's about $9.99, or about really more like $8.99. Yeah, $8.99 a month for the if you pay for the year. But then if you do monthly, it's $14.99 or $39.99 quarterly. Excuse me. But then the big one is this. It's the PlayStation Plus Premium, which what this will do is that it will do the same thing as the other two previous tiers, but then they'll also allow you to play. The tier also will add 340 games that are including the PS3 catalog that's available in the cloud streaming services that will allow you to play on the PS4 and PS5. And it will allow you to play PS2 and PSP, which I'm actually surprised about, is adding their PSP libraries towards all of this. So this is and also gives you time limited game trials for this tier as well. This one's $120 yearly, $17.99 monthly, or $49.99 quarterly. So this one, the issue I have with this one is that they're very vague on like what is this going to entail, like how is this going to be like cycled through, because that's why I think we need a little more information exactly like what they mean when they say PSP generation. Like, is it because they're not really showing how big, because PSP has a very illustrious library, they really do, and as well as PS2, but like how all that's going to work. So they didn't give a date on when all this is going to happen, but I know it's going to be fairly close when like where we're at right now. But the big thing is like, are they going to be are they late? Like, is it too late for them to kind of be competing with Xbox Game Pass? Because theoretically right now, price wise, they're virtually the same, almost. The only difference is that the highest tier is a little bit more expensive than what the ultimate tier is for Game Pass. But overall, the other two tiers are fairly reasonable to what Game Pass is currently at. So, and you know that like with the PlayStation strength in their games library, this could be a good thing, but we don't know how they're going to be, shooting out these games throughout the year. If they're going to give us some POSs or if they're just going to be like, straight up. So I kind of want to know what your thoughts of what this upcoming PlayStation Plus change is going to be like.
Okay. So Smitty and I talked about it earlier this week, because I was watching Little Smitty, so I came over and we were chit-chatting beforehand, and he was telling me how I would be able to play this library on my PC.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me really happy. I wonder how they're going to do that with exclusives. I mean, I assume if I pay $120 a year, the second a new Spider-Man comes out or another AAA comes out, that I get to play it on PC. And he's shaking his head no, and that makes me sad. So
yeah, I don't think it's
if the way
you're gonna be able to do it with PlayStation.
What do you mean?
They're not going to cut into their own profits. That is one of the big differentiators between this and Game Pass. Whereas Game Pass is day one drops from what they're publishing. I don't think PlayStation does that.
They don't need to,
and they don't exactly. They don't need to.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they will definitely need to do. Yeah, they're not in a position where they have to do something that drastic, because the AAA. We know PlayStation AAA titles are going to sell,
right?
Regardless on their own,
right? And I am aware of that. But if I'm paying for a service, I would like to be able to play it on my PC day one. But you're saying that's they've said that is not going to happen. So what do we know what the wait time is? So if I pay the $120 a month, what's the wait time from the AAA being released, whatever it is?
We don't know. They didn't say anything about that, unfortunately, not yet.
Someone's here. Okay, yeah, that's a little frustrating, but they made it clear that it's not going to be day one.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. Well, okay, I will say this: it's possible that third parties, but like PlayStation owned IPs are definitely not going to be day one.
Right.
Like I don't think it's going to be because like I said, like the reason why Xbox Game Pass works for so well because of that is because there's no limit on that. But 9 times out of 10, these day one releases aren't made by Microsoft. So and also
we have to remember that Microsoft owns Microsoft and Xbox. So of course they're going to give us day one if we're paying for the Microsoft Game Pass, because they're not losing profits on that, because either way they're being purchased for, you know what I mean?
No, they're definitely no. I think it's not because of where they are. I think it was because that system had like when Xbox, when the new Series X and Series S and all that stuff was coming in, there's no game that featured it. The only game that did really was Halo. And that was big. So prior to that, I think we're hitting year number 2 on the systems now. So so they had to do something. They were in a position where they had to do something drastic to keep up demand for it, not necessarily for the system, but more like for how you play the game as with Microsoft itself. So that's what
you're putting down. Okay, that was my only question about it. Now I'm a little sad.
Yeah. Monkey Blood says they need to offer more to be coming in this late. For example, you can play MLB 22 day 1 on Game Pass. PS folks got to pay for it. Exactly. Because they were already behind. Their biggest issues is a lack of games. So now they are going in the right direction, and they've built, if you look at it, they're all built off of different models. Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. They all do, they're all working within a thing, but their strategies are all very different, and they all kind of play to what their strengths are and what they're trying to be. I think, Microsoft is ahead as far as cloud gaming, getting people in that architect or in their just in there. Yeah, exactly. PlayStation's already got that. They don't need to offer this stuff. Why am I going to undercut myself? You know what I'm saying? The big things for me in terms of this, and this is kind of how I looked at it. Number one, I think that the PC streaming is huge, because now you're saying PC players can opt in and get these, and they may be later, they may not be day one, but now you've opened up a plethora of games to this PC market. I think you're going to see a lot of buy-in for this on the PC side of things. That was huge for me in their streaming. What that looks like, we still don't know. And I know out the gate, it's not going to be available in Japan. That's going to come in an update later on. The big thing for me, though, looking at this and looking at these prices, was that, okay, it's $120. And this really, a lot of this depends, kind of has to deal with timing too, because I'm not really expecting the day ones. I would love it if they had day ones coming out. I think that'd be freaking amazing. But the way I look at it is that, and I guess it depends on, unless I have to get a game, it's like I'm going to spend $70 on a brand new game anyway. So within two games that out the gate, and this is just obviously hypothetical because the service isn't available yet, but let's say it was already in existence, and we knew that it was going to be that, let's say Returnal and whatever was going to be on this, I would have saved myself $20 just going with the yearly plan, as opposed to getting the games individually. So, there and again, a lot of that is going to depend on what their timings of releases are. If it's going to be worth it for me, who's already in the PlayStation ecosystem, I don't necessarily need to stream. I have got remote play on my, for my PC, so I can still play PlayStation games on my PC. So I don't necessarily need it. I think the biggest thing is just they've opened themselves up even more to this PC market. And I think that's where you'll see some more of this buy-in. Of course, that's going to be a top tier get for that.
Well, a comment on the being able to remote play. On PS5, it now has a big thing across the screen saying PlayStation Remote Play, which is a bunch of BS.
Annoying.
Get rid of it.
But it's not worth $120.
Right.
I'm kind of I don't know. I've never messed with PlayStation Now, but I've known that some of the issues with PlayStation Now was a little bit of lag and stuff. So that's one of the biggest issues that if they're going to provide this service, that I have to know if it's going to be is there going to be stuff that's going to be intrusive? Because theoretically, the idea is appealing to me to say that you could play your PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 games. But PlayStation 3 is going to be library. It's going to be cloud gaming, and that kind of makes me a little hesitant because of what I've heard. Or PlayStation 3 and PSP library is going to be cloud based. So I don't know if that's something that I'll be like, oh wow, okay, I'm all in on this because I like the idea of being able to play, like, I don't know, Rogue Galaxy or something like that from the PS3, and then like to stream it without worrying about, doing the jankiness to get a PS3 to stream on Twitch and stuff. But like yeah, so I like the premium is not appealing to me whatsoever, for me anyways. And then plus I think that but I think the tier prior to that, because that's the tier I would probably lean towards more. It's like is that you're going to have the free library of 400 plus games on the PlayStation, PS4,
right.
PS5 or whatever. And then be able to be like, okay, you have the good library from the previous generation. And then you don't have to be like, oh, I wonder if this game is good or not. You just pop it in and do it. And it's downloaded on your system. So you don't even need to worry about about direct delay or any of that nonsense. So I think that is the better deal, in my opinion. Towards that.
I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat as Chrissy. She says this is something I would have someone else get first and see what it's all about. I think a lot of people are going to be waiting for the reviews.
Same.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely agree. I would definitely try. Well, I got a 3-year PlayStation Plus thing, so like I don't know how
they're not gonna not take your money, Davis. I promise.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure they're not going to either.
They're gonna make it nice and easy for you.
Yeah, Monkey Blood says that streaming is not ideal. A native install option would be increased adoptions of this, and then that's what it is. But I know that there's going to be that having a native version of the system would be a lot better to do it. But at the same time, it's like PS3. If anyone knows the process of getting a PS3 to work, right, for Twitch or YouTube, it's a hassle because it's not specifically like there's certain things like there's a specific, you have to get a crossover switch. You have to have a crossover switch, and there's certain switches that it plays with, certain switches that they don't. And most of these switches you can buy on Amazon, but since but most of these switches aren't made consistently. Like, so one of them could be made with the different parts but look the same, and it doesn't work. Oh, and it's a nightmare. It's like literally a nightmare. So sometimes it's like for me to be like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that. I want to see how this works with this cloud services. Like even like when you were playing Horizon Forbidden West last month, when you were doing remote play on that, like it was the reason why you did it was because of your convenience, the convenience of where your system was at to where you were at, and then and then you had to, and then you were having troubles with with lag and stuff like that. It's like if you have to absolutely do it that way, then that's what it is.
I think that's my ISP though, dude.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's
hard. Yeah.
But it's still, you're still wireless. You're still connecting. Is everything? You're still wireless. Talking to your computer.
It's all hardline.
I'm talking about your computer is talking to your PS5 wirelessly, right?
No, it should be all via router.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Okay.
Yep.
Also, Unknown says, also though, I believe they said 2 free games a month for the base plan, but isn't that worse? Get now like 3 to 4 games. Yeah, it is. But then again, they're in a I don't know. I don't know what they were planning on doing, because like I know right now they're doing 2 PS5 games, and I think they actually reduced it down. It's now 2 PS5 games and 1 PS4. Or there was going to be a hybrid. I actually, let me find out right now, because like a month of April.
Yeah, they do weird things where like there's certain PS4 games. Maybe is it 2 PS5 games or 1 PS5 game?
That'd be 1. Finding out right now.
I feel like it's 1.
Yeah, I think it's
and then
1.
Maybe like 2.
Yeah, it's
PS4
3
games.
right now.
Yeah,
right now. It's 1 well, wow, this one's a PS5, PS4. So this was basically 3 PS4 games this month. And then but it's 1 PS5 and then 2 PS4. Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to change that out. They're going to change that out. And to say if it's worse, I think that's really subjective, because odds are like like if you were cool with the monthly plan, yeah, that would be awesome. But then again, the change is going to be you're going to have more of an open library to just openly download a different game, so you don't need to worry about the free game that you get that's random, that some 9 times out of 10 a lot of people don't play them. Because I know this month you're not going to be like, yeah, I really need to go back to playing SpongeBob SquarePants Battle of Bikini Bottom because that's the free game this month.
I would.
I actually might play that with my daughter, so
I want to play that. I still watch.
I know,
SpongeBob.
but I'm saying that like you're not going to be thinking about this months on end. Like it's like, oh wow, I really should have gotten that.
PlayStation should really make a Little Einstein's game. I'd play that. Little Einstein's is the jam. You wouldn't know, Davis. You don't have kids, so
I know what Little Einstein is.
Oh, okay. He says that.
Don't just assume that. Don't assume I don't know. I know. I know what Little Einstein is.
Good. It's good.
You should watch the Wish. I was thinking you were going to do something with Wishbone.
Shut up! I don't want to talk about it.
Why is that a sour spot to you? I thought you liked that game.
I love that game, but even like the modulators, it gets stuck when I get to the second island with the stupid Cyclops. It gets stuck, so I can't even get past that part. And it doesn't save it. Am I going to sit here for 10 hours? I probably would.
I would.
Wow.
One day I'll have the patience to do it, but yeah, I've been playing Rocket Knight Adventures on an emulator, and I'm having so much fun. The keybinds are very weird for that, though. So
yeah, nice. Yeah, but I think overall, though, I mean, like, I guess, like, exactly. I think the best way to describe it is like we got to see where this is going to go. Is like, I think that I think there's no room. I mean, to have open if we have better if Microsoft Xbox or Microsoft Game Pass has competition in some sort, it will be better for both people, for everyone. So we'll see.
This isn't competition.
Yeah, I'm also the only one that did not bring a snack today.
I didn't know how many games. Like, how big is the library for the for Game Pass? I don't even know.
I'm not 100% sure to be. It's rotating basis too.
Well, this one's going to be rotating basis as well. I mean,
rotating basis. Nah, isn't it? It's not just like whatever's out is just out.
No,
it's going to be rotating.
It's going to be rotating. I mean, like it has to be. Like, yeah, PlayStation 4 does not have only 400 games. They only give you access to certain games. It's rotating. I mean, and secondly, they said they're partners too. So the partners will clearly are going to also rotate. Is going to rotate their games as well. It's not going to be like a permanent thing.
But you get to download it.
So, yeah, you download the physical game, but I'm assuming just like Xbox. You could do the same thing, but then eventually, if it's out of the rotation, you won't have access to it.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's how Xbox. That's how Game Pass is like.
It's different. It's different.
Oh my gosh, you are like, incorrigible.
Incorrigible.
Wow. Oh my god. Okay. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. Well, clearly we know where Smitty is on this conversation. He's not. He's not going to be swayed from Game Pass that easily. Nice. Okay.
Oh no! I'm not saying that I won't do both.
Oh, no, we already know because you got the FOMO.
He does have the FOMO.
I mean, I'm already opted in. So I can't really think anything off the top of my head where I'm like, oh, I have to have this because this has this game. On there. Yeah. Until there's that, I'm good with just having a base whatever I have right now.
I'm just saying with PlayStation 4's library to what Xbox has on their library, even regardless to that, you already know how much stronger the library of games PlayStation has over Microsoft is what I'm saying.
Ooh, but so, didn't Xbox or they're about to announce a family plan?
I don't know.
I swear I read something about that somewhere.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was announced or it's like a leaked thing or something like that. But yeah, I'm curious to see what that looks like. I heard that too. Yeah, a family plan.
That'd be awesome.
It says Game Pass is reportedly we're getting a family plan. So that's what that was a day ago. So there you go.
But I heard it today. Yeah, I think I heard it today too.
Yeah, who knows what that means? What's going to happen? So
it is April 1st.
Let's see. Family plan option reportedly provided access to Xbox Game Pass for 5 players and be priced cheaper than the cost for separate accounts. So they're going to allow you to bundle. There's going to allow you to bundle more people in.
And then I can get I can give it to my dad.
Oh. I mean, so basically they're going by quantity, but it's but like I said, if the library is better on one or the other, you wouldn't want to choose the other library, or you're going to choose Game Pass because they allow you to get first day hits on games that you're going to
the first day hits
to play. Okay, all right, that's what that's what I'm asking about. That's what you're looking for.
That to me is the deciding factor. If I were to compare them head to head, for me, but again, it's also about what I'm going to use it for, because I do the family plan for Nintendo strictly because the little has a thing, you know what I mean? She has an account or has her own, Switch and stuff like that. And then it opens up a library of family friendly games as well to be played, which is always nice, to be able to utilize.
Did you get the plus account, the expansion pass?
Yes.
Switch. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, there you go. So we'll see. I mean, I guess it's good. I guess it's good news, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But awesome. Smitty, why don't you go next? What do you bring into the table?
Oh,
sorry. Like I said, I didn't give the order. Unfortunately,
He did not. And he did it with my mouth full of chips.
I'm a professional and someone isn't.
I'm sorry, I'm so hungry I didn't get a nap in. I didn't get a nap in, but I also didn't get a snack in. I didn't get a snap in. So I'm sure you guys have heard and seen the news that E3 has officially been canceled for this year. There was supposed to be, we already knew that there wasn't going to be a physical for this year. However, they had announced that there was going to be a digital version of it, and it just I don't know, it just it did not happen at all. And they have just officially announced that they are canceling the digital as well. And I kind of feel like this might just be the end of E3. I mean,
slow down there, Turbo.
I'm throwing it out there, man. I totally, dude, because let's look at it. 2020, they didn't hold anything. Obviously, that's when we went into the pandemic. Everybody was scrambling around. Last year, they did a digital version of it. And I felt like it was kind of lackluster. We also had the start of Summerfest, and a lot more companies are seeing that they don't need these trade shows. The trade shows don't mean quite what they used to mean back in the day. And I feel like E3 has essentially outlived its usefulness within the industry, unfortunately. And I could totally see them just not coming back at all. Again, I could be wrong. And they could come back with a physical, but clearly they said, look, dude, digital wise, they were they said they were going with it. And for them to go and be like, nah, we're going to pump the brakes and not do anything. I think this is I think they saw the writings on the wall as well. And I felt like them to try to compete against Summerfest at this point is basically futile. And
you don't compete the Summerfest, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Greg Keeley is the
come on.
No, first off, you're wrong. All right, I already know that.
He says you are just dead ass wrong
because they've already posted. I mean, you can say to their word because the ESA is still around. So, I mean, if this is the case, because this is the people who run E3 or makes E3, they said that they were canceling 2022 because they didn't feel like having a digital thing of this wouldn't make sense for a show that big, which makes sense. I mean, it really is. I mean, the itself, because last year was they didn't want to be 2 years in a row where they just canceled and then leave everything like that, the way that they were they were still trying to reach out to people to put like hands on some of their merchandise and stuff, which was a little weird because they also had like sets and stuff like that, closed sets and stuff. I bet you they realized that's expensive, even regardless if it was online. But ESA has already said that they will return in 2023. So now we could take it for a grain of salt on what that means, but I seriously doubt that they're going to like let this one go, even though yes, they have been slowly losing. I mean, they already lost Nintendo. They technically lost Microsoft and Sony. Sony just sound like they just got fed up and just bounced, yeah, but overall it's still good for like the for I guess for third party vendors. It's just not going to be the show as big as the show as we once knew it once was, So I mean, I won't count them out and quite yet. I mean, but like you said, some like summer game fest and stuff. Unless they make a physical show, like that's the one thing I would really hope so, because that's the one thing I loved about
they won't
E3.
have a physical show.
I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, Keighley's only. The thing with Jeff Keighley is that he does the video game awards. We have never seen him do the like show the show for like events of the show itself, unless Keighley decides to do like a physical event or and something for Summer Game Fest, then maybe. But the point of Summer Game Fest isn't the show. It's just showing like releases that are happening throughout the summer fully. So it's not all happening in one weekend or whatever. So like, so the way the format itself is completely different than what E3 is like. So, I just think that like for me as press, especially as media, we love going to a place like a place where we can actually get together and just physically look at the stuff or be able to put hands on this kind of thing, and see. Oh, the best thing are the back room conferences and stuff like that. I mean, like there's no other show that does that besides maybe PAX, because I mean PAX is a little bit, but it's nowhere near as big as what E3 was. So like yeah. So like but I mean, yeah, that's why I feel like it's still there's still something that E3 can provide.
I personally liked E3. I know that Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony pulled out, and they're doing their own shows. I see. Even when E3 was digital, I felt like they gave us more than other companies did as far as like a closer look and understanding and explanations and talking to creators. And I think it's a great place, especially for indie developers. But I kind of miss Smitty. I don't know if they're going to come back. It's questionable. And here's the thing, like someone had said that they might do Unknown had said that they might do physical and digital next year, which is a great idea if that is what they're planning on doing, because a lot of people do like going to those conventions. Sorry, hold on one second. Okay, it passed. It is fun to be able to tangibly touch something and look at something and demo a game and talk to people and connect. And I feel like since 2019, as far as meeting new people and connecting, whether it be with other content creators or just the developers themselves, even if it's just a fangirl situation like in Dust's experience, I loved it, and I didn't even get to go to the panels that I wanted to. My body just gave out, and so I missed a lot of the con, but I really did enjoy it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. But I don't know, I think we might be moving into a new era because COVID is a thing and it's not going away. And with a capacity like that, I don't know how convention centers are working with that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, well, if that was the case overall, like we wouldn't be like PAX like now is not going, shouldn't be theoretically happening because of this. They know, I mean, overall, well, despite the fact the problem with E3, well, the initial problem with E3, I think, was that they did a weird pivot with their identity of what E3 was,
Right.
you know. So because the biggest issue I have, especially as media, this is not saying this. It's not saying this because of a statute, like, you know, a level or whatever, but it rather, like, when they opened it up for the public, it destroyed it. It destroyed its reputation, in my opinion, unfortunately, because my biggest problem is that they charged like $200 for individuals to get there. They treat these people into these weird lines, and then, like, I mean, in lines to play a 10 or 15 minute demo, and then you only have time to be there for like maybe 2 or 3 of these lines before they close it for the day. And then, but at the same time, this is like maybe 25% of what most of these people are there for. Like, they're there to work. Most of the time is there to work for it. So, but like, I just think that overall, companies like when Sony and stuff like that did all the stupid things, and when Sony, I think Sony got pissed when Spider-Man came out, the first Spider-Man. They did it. I think that was their last E3 they attended themselves, like, physically. But like, overall, like, the event itself is like, it was meant specifically for the trade itself within hand. I mean, there's other company like the bigger one. There's even bigger events, I would say, that's more important to E3 that I think people need to kind of remember. Like, I think the biggest one that people kind of forget about is GDC, which is the Gamers Developers Conference that happens in San Francisco. That's a week long. That one is insane. Like, but you get to talk to everybody in every facet in the industry itself. So I think that I think like over like this, even though despite the pandemic and stuff, people still need a physical event. And I think that's one of the and I think that's one of the things that E3 could do or does a little bit, maybe not well, because I would totally agree on how they did it, how they kind of treated it has gone to crap, but that's a whole different conversation in itself. But so,
well, is someone
here's where you're wrong. Look, so Summerfest started 2020, right? In the pandemic. I think once things open back up, I think it's going to evolve into something a lot more than what it is. That was merely because of what was going on as the format that it has right now. I don't think it's its final form. And I think it evolves, and it encompasses basically all the summer announcements and stuff like that get encompassed into Game Fest. And they continue to do it over the course of months. But then you'll have things where, you know what I mean? It's, hey, this is more for the developers, or this is just indies or whatever, that'll kind of be underneath that Game Fest umbrella. And that's why I think at that point, and I think a lot of companies are making that shift. It's like, what's the point of going to E3? Why do I need to go to E3 when I could deliver this information just as easily, either solo or within some other event that, frankly, is gaining more clout than what E3's been doing?
But if Summer Game Fest can shows that's what they're doing, or that's what they're planning on, that's what they're leading up to, because that's the thing. I don't know if they are or if they aren't. You're right. I mean, coincidentally, you're right. I mean, it started during the pandemic, but I don't know from what I've got, from what I have seen, and from what it's been seen, because like I've even gotten the first emails from Summer Game Fest today, and they're still doing the same format. So like there's right now there's straight up rumors of what they're wanting to do, but at the same time,
I don't think I'm not talking about this year.
I know, but I'm just saying that, like, it's like, now if it would be a different story, because I mean, something like to do an event that's gonna be competing directly for E3, like, it's going to be like something. It's going to be something that's going to be not like a spur of the moment thing. That's going to be like a big announcement kind of thing to be like, here, it's like at the Video Game Awards or something. That's what's going to happen. And I feel like that's why I don't think that's where they're at quite yet. From it. And Keeley has connections, so I'm not going to be surprised that if if it's going to happen, maybe sooner than later. Now, when that happens, that's also a different, complete different story. Then we could say, is E3 dead? But like right now, I don't know. Like, well, I think it's hard to say.
Coming from the disabled gamer standpoint, I hate lines. I can't stand in lines. I just can't do it. So it was never for me. I looked into it prior for past E3s, and it felt like going through hoops to call and ask if I was going to be kicked out if my service dog, joined me, and if there were accessibilities. And I just could never get a straight answer. Not to say that there wasn't, because I never went. But I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of like I don't care.
To be honest with you, with the line thing, I think if anyone's going to be charging anybody $200 to just stay in line,
right,
you go F themselves.
Thank you.
To be honest with you.
Thank you. Well, and that was the thing.
What it is.
I called. I was like, if I buy a ticket, because there were a few things that I was very interested in. I called. If I buy my $200 ticket, I have a service dog that is accompanying me. I just got transferred. And I always call ahead of time, because I'm not going to show up to a con that I paid an arm and a leg that I couldn't really afford in the first place to then be told you need to leave. You know what I mean? Because that's happened to me so many times. And, they're not allowed to do that, but they do. What am I going to do? Call the cops?
Yeah.
I could.
Well, to be honest with you, though, overall, even if I don't usually like going to, well, for me personally, because I've been going to events forever. And the only time I go to an event is if I know that there's something that I need to do or I have a task to do, because I don't usually go for fun. But overall, though, when you go to E3, if you are part of the press, like for me, I didn't even get to play. I didn't play one game there at all.
Jesus.
I was there. I was there. It was not because of the lines, though. It's because I am literally talking to developer heads. I am talking. Yeah, I'm going to small parties and stuff, the get-togethers, the talking. There's so much stuff that's happening on the outside. The backdoor meetings. Like I said, the backdoor meetings. For instance, I went to one. I can say it now, it's because it's already out. But when I went, the last E3 was E3 2019 that happened. That was physical. I went to that. I had a backdoor meeting with Techland, and I was talking to the developers who were at the time was working on Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 Dying Light 2 so I got to play an early copy of Dying Light 2 when it happened. Then at the same time, they gave us these statues of Dying Light characters, and then they gave us a welcome kit with Techland. And to talk about what it was. When Cyberpunk 2077 was there, they gave us these reversible windbreaker jackets of
dude, Davis always gets the coolest shit, dude.
I'm just saying, that's the kind of stuff that's the kind of stuff that you're there for. You're talking to developers. It's cool to be like, oh, cool, I got to play at the time was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on stage for 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, who gives a crap? A game comes out in 6 months.
Right.
You're talking to the people that's like, we want to know what your plans are ahead of of this year and beyond. And then once you get into those meetings, then you'll see how special E3 is. Because that's what I'm saying. Because I think that at the consumer level, it is a waste of money and it's a waste of time. But then but in the media level, that's what makes the magic happen.
Give me a meet
what E3 is.
Dude,
I'll go to
I feel like that's the strat that they have to lean on then. Close it back up. Don't make it open to the public and focus on what they were doing well beforehand. That kind of commentary, that kind of things that stuck with you, that is meaningful to you on a much deeper level than the consumer base of I got to stand in line and play a game for 15 minutes on a stage.
I would love for them to, would love anything for them to, I would love for them to do that. But like, to be honest with you, like now they got that taste of money. Now they know they can get that sold out. It's like, oh my God, like good luck, man. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad to come to what your topic was talking about. I'm glad that they are shutting it down, and I'm glad that they recognize that it is, because like I bet you now they do have information of like how good did they do last year when they did an online show, and then they're like, you know what, it's not worth it. Then awesome.
I mean, that means what took them so long though that's my biggest thing. It's like, I mean, they already announced that they weren't doing a physical. I mean, at that point, did you not have? They should have already been able to go through the data and see what, you know what I mean, what that looked like. People visited vendors X amount of time versus in person. Look at those numbers and then be like, all right, probably not a good idea to hold a virtual. I'm just wondering why. You know, I mean, there's still time, but I mean, shit, dude, we're in April now. You know, why now? Why not a couple months ago or whenever the data came flowing through?
It could be many facets, because like maybe like it's not just that. Maybe let's say companies just weren't coming to bring announcements to E3, like you're saying. That might be a problem. That could be a problem themselves, you know, because there's no justification. Like, why would they need E3 at that point if they're going to be doing online announcements of these games when they can just do it themselves? Like, because like, you know what we were doing last year when we did the Let's Watch of it.
Yeah.
And stuff is like, some of it was really disappointing, like Warner Brothers Studios and all this stupid nonsense that we had to deal with. And we were there for like a good 8 hours, you know, doing this kind of stuff. So maybe they were just like, I mean, that could be one thing. I mean, I really don't know. So, yeah. So who knows? I mean, it's really hard to say.
We'll see.
Indeed it is.
Yeah. Lex.
Yes,
why don't you close this off?
I will. Thank you. So I like April Fools. As I said, I prank my dad every year. I haven't been able to the last couple two years, but I like when game companies are in on the jokes, and they're funny. Sometimes they say things that I actually physically want, and it is not available, and then I'm sad. But Kotaku came out with an article today about April Fool's jokes and gaming for 2022, and I thought it would just give us a quick laugh. Of course, it's International Lying Day, if you didn't know. So you're allowed to tell a lie, and it's funny. Like, I'm pregnant with twins. I'm not. Sonic Frontiers Collection Edition was announced today. The official Japanese account tweeted the details for the collector's edition. It includes a wooden bath bucket, a Sonic printed towel, a waterproof, get this, Sega Genesis, a non-waterproof Game Gear, and a rubber duck. If it's real, it'll be $260. Who knows? We'll find out, I'm sure, in a couple days.
Non-waterproof Game Gear? That's kind of funny that they have to point that out.
I know.
It's like, okay,
but I would buy the Sega Genesis if it'll let me play my old cartridges, because I still have them. Also announced, and this might be true, Goat Simulator the musical, directed by Steve-O, one of our favorites from Jackass. If you were like myself and watched the Jackass series, he has a throat disorder, and that's why his voice sounds like it does. I don't think a lot of people know that. But Coffee Stain somewhat proudly presents Goat Simulator, the musical motion picture, an utter spectacular in the making, directed by Steve-O himself. So we'll see, I guess, in a couple days if that one was true as well. Genshin Impact announced a playable Abyss Lecter. Of course, Among Us, you get to horse around. So your character is a horse. There's a horse mode, and it features a neigh kill sound, which I appreciate. Cookie Run Kingdom turns cookies into hotties and eldritch beings. Fire Emblem 3 Houses tea set. Now, they are gorgeous, and I would love to get my hands on them. I don't play that game, but these look beautiful. I hope they're real, because I will be buying one. And then, of course, a short hike 99, a multiplayer mode. This was supposed to be some sort of April Fool's joke, but I don't want to confuse anyone, so I'm just going to drop some facts. It's a rough mod, and they're doing some funny things in that as well today. And my favorite, we'll end it here, Corsair K1 RGB. The world is at your fingertip with the most technologically advanced 1% mechanical keyboard ever built. And I would love if Smitty pressed play so you all could see this. It's literally one button. You can interchange which ones. They like to choose the F button. There is hand support, many plugins, and it shakes. You're welcome.
It has like two different ports for the power and the one for the light support. That's hilarious.
I don't think anyone's going to be playing Elden Ring with this one. You know what? I lied. Let's end it on this one. And then Twitch added a Mimi streaming category for today. And it is as follows, if it'll load for me. The new category is pizza time. What does it mean? I don't know. Eat pizza, make pizza, deliver pizza, dress like a pizza, debate pizza protocol, throw a pizza onto the roof. The world is your oyster, okay? And then the next category is silent reading. Now, I assume people in your chat are supposed to read along with you? I don't know. Because obviously that is content that is copyrighted, so you kind of can't do that. And then character creation. Creating a new character can take hours. Becoming them can take a lifetime. So we spent 5 minutes creating a character for it, 4 out of 6. And then, of course, this is my favorite. Chores, odd jobs, and errands. If the saying many hands make light work is true, you're about to save so much time. And then, of course, they have a literally just chatting category, which it's funny, but you know, if Twitch had time to work on that.
How do you have like all of the, like you just know all of these like spots for these April Fool? Like this is like only one day and you found like so many different companies with all these April Fool stuff. There's quite more. Impressive. I know there's more.
There's a lot more.
Like, it's crazy.
I don't know. I always got into April Fools. It was me and my dad. Like it started out with him when I was a kid. I would get in the shower in the morning and he'd still be home and he would take a bucket of ice water and dump it on my head. And it started and it fully escalated to pee on the floor. So you're welcome, Dad. Hey, saran wrap someone's toilet today. It's delightfully to watch them to clean it up. Yeah, no, I dig it. I think it's funny. And, you know, I think more video game companies should do it because why not? If anything, it's bringing more traffic to your game. You know what I mean?
I think the one out of all of them is the Among Us. Like if you're playing Among Us today,
you're a horse.
You're a horse. I think that's
just
pretty
horsing
funny.
Around. I thought it was cute. Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. But wow, dude, it's like you totally beat me on that one.
Again, and some of these could be true. Like the tea set, it could be true. We don't know. Also, if the Sega Genesis thing is true, I'll buy it if it'll fit my old party. I'm serious. I love Sega Genesis. I don't need it to necessarily be waterproof.
I think it should be. I think it'd be pretty nice.
That'd be awesome.
Use April Fools to test out their craziest ideas to see how people would respond. I swear, dude. Does said that last year Path of Exile debuted a Battle Royale version of their game. 6 months later, they had to actually make it because the fan base went nuts about it.
Wow, that's pretty funny.
Path of Exile
Battle Royale? What?
Not anymore, I don't think.
Was that a seasonal thing or was that like a temporary thing?
I would watch the pizza channel as well.
I don't know.
Like see all the different varieties of pizza.
Did you see with Fortnite? Like they have the no build thing anymore, and then it was so popular that now it's going to be a permanent mode.
I knew that was going to happen, and it should have. It should have been there all along.
Agreed.
They would have kept
it. Me and AJ play Fortnite together, and we win. I would say 90% of our games were number one.
That's crazy. Maybe you guys should invite me sometime, assholes.
But they said 90. They said their win percentage is 90%. Smitty,
Okay.
they don't have time to. They don't have time to carry.
Come on, carry me.
I think you know what I think it is AJ and I commute really well, and I'll be like, someone's under 6, 364, like on the top, and then
Yeah.
she, pew, 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 you know, I need someone to call out the numbers for me, and she's really good about it. And so
Smitty
I
would
don't
just
see
walk in the
well,
line.
but if you tell me where to
Smitty would
shoot,
just walk in the line of sight and just be
He's
like,
to
"Where?"
your left. I'm Gilbert. The numbers.
Smitty's gonna be the best floor tank for you. Guarantee
Yeah,
it.
that's right. That's right. I'm not worried about building. No problem, dude. I stay alive a lot more. It was the building that always got me in that game. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the actual gunplay. It was the stupid building. That's what pissed me off and made me not want to play it. Because I was like, I can't compete with that. I'm not going to sit here and try to get good at building to try to compete with people. Not going to do it.
Nope, I agree.
I
agree.
Set your foot down. Good for you, dude.
Right.
Good for
That's
you.
right.
Yep. Well, that was cool. Well, that's cool, dude. I mean, that's really
That was
cool
fun.
that they did.
There's a lot of fun ones in that.
Things. Yeah, guys. Thank you for listening to episode number 127 of the CFG GameCast. Thank you once again for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back next week, every Friday. If you did miss out this episode, that is perfectly fine. We release it on all of the podcast services on Monday morning each and every week. So there is not a reason to miss our sexy voices.
Oh yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. And also, you can go check out our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, if you're wanting to see the history of all the other different kinds of episodes that we've done of the CFG Gamecast, and then some. We do a lot of video game reviews and news interviews and so much more there. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all, take it easy.
Bye.
And